Good Morning Texas,
A date for the girls,
and Austin Tradition.
and informing your vote.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas. Good Morning Texas for Wednesday, February 25th. I'm Daniela Villegas.
And I'm Cameron Trout. Thanks for joining us this morning. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good, Cameron. Super excited to be co-hosting the show with you because we rarely see you on the screen. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a little shy or whatever, but
For our viewers, he is our senior executive producer, so he's in charge behind all the magic that happens that you don't see, and so it's very exciting to be with him here.
yeah, I'm really excited to be on just to talk about some topics.
And I hear that we have a very interesting vlog later on where we're going to be telling the truth or tasty mixed food, and I'm a little scared, Cameron.
I know these questions are really hard. It's kind of like my sadistic side, I guess, even though I'm doing it to myself too, but these
Oh,
questions
yeah.
are really hard to answer.
Oh my god, I'm excited, but before we get into the blog, let's get into our this week's trending topic. So as it's been for many weeks, unfortunately, the coronavirus is still a topic we're talking about, and now the fate of the Olympics could be at the border of the line. Dick Pound, the longest serving member of the IOC, estimates there's a 3-month window to decide the fate of the Tokyo Olympics, which are being threatened by this fast spreading virus. Cameron?
I know, this is so scary. Like, you think of the Olympics and you think like this long-standing tradition and like, oh, nothing could happen to it, but now it's being threatened by coronavirus.
Yes. Well, Dick, in an exclusive interview with the Associated Press, he did not sound alarmist, but he said the decision could be put off until last minute in late May, and so this just gives us to think like what could happen between this time.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I've heard also it's spreading to Europe, right?
Yes, it's going everywhere. So as of Tuesday, China reported 508 new cases and another 71 deaths. 68 of them in the central city of Wuhan, where the epidemic was first detected in December. Nearly 78,000 cases and over 2,500 deaths. South Korea has the second most cases in the world with 977, including death. Clusters of illness are now appearing in the Middle East and Europe.
Yeah, this is really scary, and I also saw that the EU made a decision to respect their Schengen agreement, so they're keeping all of their borders open. And that just really like allows for the disease to spread even more in a lot of European countries, and people are really scared of it spreading. So
we'll just see what's gonna happen, Cameron.
I know, it's really scary. And on some more dark sort of news, Harvey Weinstein's trial was this past week in New York. He was found guilty on 2 charges out of 5, those being 3rd-degree rape and criminal sexual assault. And so obviously there were many reactions in social media from this, most coming from women in entertainment. A lot were happy with what actually happened, and specifically Rose McGowan said in a tweet, "Today is a powerful day and a huge step forward in our collective healing." And she is such a prominent figure in this case because she was one of the very first accusers of Weinstein back in 2017 when she started the Me Too movement. However, not everyone was happy because he wasn't convicted on 3 charges, as I said, and those came with stricter sentences, such as max and life, or life in prison, and his minimum sentence for his current charges is only 5 years. So there is possibility that there could be a repeal of his sentence as well. There's a lot that can still go on, you know. And he was actually rushed to the hospital after he was charged yesterday with claims of chest pains. So there's just so much going on.
Yes. And then there's definitely more to come, and we'll be keeping y'all updated. He will be sentenced in March 11th, so we'll have all the updates then. And then going back to what we were talking about earlier, the coronavirus, as we may all know, last week a UT professor professor of molecular biology, Jason McKellen, and his colleagues created the first 3D map of the coronavirus. The virus reportedly looks as if it is a crown with spikes that latch onto human cells and infect those cells. UT researchers have teamed up with the National Institutes of Health and Moderna to look into the viability of a vaccine based on the 3D map that was created. If everything were to go according to the plan, the clinical trial phase of testing the vaccine could take anywhere between 18 to 24 months. The most likely case, though, is that the vaccine will take several rounds of clinical trials to reach a final product.
And this is really kind of scary because obviously 18 to 24 months is quite a long period, but this is typical with these sort of vaccines.
Yes, we'll be hopeful. If it all goes good, well, that's a big achievement for UT as well. With all this going on, let's go into more little light news and see what's going on here, and let's check out our weather with Joseph.
Thank you, Danny. Well, Longhorns, I have news for you. Sunny news. Starting today, we will see sunny skies with a high around 53, followed by clear skies and a low of 32 this evening. On Thursday, the sunshine will continue as we will have a high around 61 and a low of 37 going into the nighttime hours. Can you guess Friday's weather? That's right, more sunshine and warmer temps with a high close to 70. On Friday night, the skies will be clear and cold with a low near 43. Going into the weekend, the sunshine is expected to continue, with highs expected to be in the 70s, and the lows in the upper 40s and 50s. That's it for me. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Joseph Stewart.
Thanks, Joseph. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Good Morning Texas when we get back.
Welcome back. Celebrated during Engineers Week, UT's National Award-winning Girl Day took place this past weekend. Presented by the Women in Engineering program, the event gives elementary and middle school students a chance to explore STEM through hands-on activities hosted by volunteer scientists, engineers, and STEM enthusiasts. Our Andrea Muñiz was in attendance to ask girls who their female role models are.
Because it didn't really happen a lot, but she was honored as a warrior.
Really kind and strong and outspoken, and I really like her. She's Simone Biles because she works really hard for what she wants to accomplish. Serena and Venus Williams because, as children, they worked so hard to get what they wanted. The first woman to enter space or to go to space because it felt so awesome because all these men are thinking that they're the only ones who get all these cool jobs like welding and being an astronaut. So then go up and do that.
Girls' Day is such a big day and event for people all around Austin. I know a lot of girls come out to that.
It's super cool that UT does this, and it just makes me think wow, what you think as a little girl, you know?
I know. Another event that does go around Austin yearly that is really big is Carnaval Brasileiro, which according to their own Facebook page is the biggest indoor carnival party in the world. Our Raymond Boteo gives us the inside scoop on how the festival was founded and all the festivities that you can enjoy.
It's big, it's bright, it's beautiful, and it's in the heart of Austin, Texas. Carnaval Brasileiro is an annual event going strong since the early 70s. Started after a group of UT Brazilian transfer students couldn't return home to Brazil during the school semester. The event continued to grow in size and sophistication throughout the 80s as organizers searched for the right formula to make the party sizzle. Mike Quinn entered the picture, a former producer of a daily radio program dedicated to the music of Latin America. We asked what he hoped partygoers took away from the event.
I hope that people that go to my party will broaden their horizons enough to want to go see those bands on a regular basis. That Brazil has a little higher profile in Austin. There are several now Brazilian restaurants in town. I hope that my party will open some doors, open some horizons, and just give people a little bit more exposure to that multicultural thing that everybody talks about.
The night was filled with banging drums, extravagant costumes, face painting, and so much more. It's no surprise Texas Monthly named it the best public bash. Until next Carnaval Brasileiro, this is Ray Alexander. Good morning, Texas.
Looking at that just makes me want to dance, Cameron. Come on, get up with me.
That's a no from me.
Okay, but something you should be doing is voting. Have you voted, Cameron?
Yeah, yesterday.
Well, with early voting ending this Friday, many students are still trying to figure out who they want to vote for. Our Mason Carroll talked to voting leaders across campus to find out the best way to educate yourself before heading to the polls. Let's take a look.
Because early voting this weekend on Friday. You have the endorsement sheets for anyone who wants them.
Early voting for the 2020 primary elections is in full swing.
Hi, you in the Travis County primary yet?
However, many voters are undecided. According to a Texas Tribune poll, 56% of voters don't know who they plan to vote for in the U.S. Senate election.
I 100% do think there are a lot of undecided voters.
But there are many groups on campus pushing for voter education.
We basically want everyone to get registered to vote, educated, and then actually showing up to the polls regardless of how you vote.
Stagel said her biggest recommendation is a voter's guide created by the League of Women Voters. And you can even take the guide into the booth with you.
So I want students to know that, one, these resources are available and that voting it doesn't have to be hard and take a long time.
Some other resources include 411's Voter's Guide, Ballottopia's full list of candidates, and Campus Votes Project's state-by-state guide to voting.
Politics isn't about electing someone that's exactly like you, but it's about getting on a bus to someone who could be potentially like you.
Early voting ends February 28th and Election Day is March 3rd. Students can vote on campus at the PCL or FAC.
I really, really hope that people go out and vote, and especially young voters, because we've seen that young voters turning out does really, really decide elections.
Mason Carroll, Good Morning, Texas.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have more Good Morning Texas after the break. Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. Given the choice between answering a personal question or tasting girls' food combos, what would you choose? To help us figure this out, we are joined by our friend and TNC executive producer Marco Ramirez. Let's find out what we would do in our new segment here at GMTX. Tell or taste, let's get started. Are y'all ready?
Hopefully.
So I'll start out by saying the question. You gotta tell me the truth, and if you don't want to say the truth, you're gonna have to taste some of our mixed foods. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm gonna do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first question: if you had to eliminate one school from UT, what school would it be? Marco.
If you
Wait, what?
If you say McClellan, it's over.
I would probably, oh God, probably the engineering school.
Oh, me too. Oof.
Yeah.
They like to talk about it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I agree.
I feel like we would be saving them because a lot of engineering students are stressed. So, you know?
You're right.
It's-
That's
we're saving them.
okay. Second question: who do you like more, your mom or your dad?
Oh, Mom. Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna eat. I cannot be saying not.
I'm gonna have to say my mom too.
Y'all are evil.
I mean,
Okay.
they know this, so
I
it's
have
fine.
to eat turkey and some Mio. So let's get this.
You sure you don't have a favorite one?
Oh
Your mom or your
no.
dad?
No ma'am.
Cameron,
I cannot be caught saying this.
I mean, it was so easy for me. You can say it. Just,
Oh my
No.
God.
Y'all see this? Villainy.
It's not
Villainy.
fun. I don't want it.
Oh, I smell that.
Ew.
All of it. All of it.
I smell that. It's not pleasant.
Wait, it's like cranberry sauce. It's pretty
No.
good.
Okay.
Okay, next question.
Next question.
Yeah.
What is something your mom doesn't know about you currently? Me, that I'm going to Europe this summer. Yeah. Even though all this stuff's going on, but I'm thinking about it though.
I don't even know.
I
I
don't
told my
know.
mom everything.
Yeah, no, same. Because like I talk to her every day, so I feel like if
Oh, that means
Doesn't
you
know
gotta eat.
anything.
That
I
means
gotta
you
That
gotta
means
eat
we have to
something.
eat? Okay.
Okay, I'll eat.
Screw it.
Okay.
Wait, I need my one. This is my one.
Cheese and trail mix.
So,
So,
cheese, here's your trail mix.
That's actually not that bad. I don't.
Who are you kidding?
I mean,
Do you
I
want me
cannot
to
eat.
go?
yeah,
put
go.
it in
Yeah,
there,
go
or-
ahead. No, it's me.
Oh, you,
I got it.
okay.
Wait, how do I? Just
I want
Yeah, just
Like-
roll it.
Okay. Ooh, ooh, you know what? This is too much.
okay.
This is
That's
bad.
sweet and salty. Ew, it's like oddly malleable.
Good? Good?
No. Oh my god, we don't have a trash can.
There's a bowl right here.
Okay. Next one.
Good?
It could be worse, but you know it's not that bad.
When is the last time that you wet the bed?
I was like,
That's a long time ago.
That's a
That's
long
been
time.
like,
Honestly,
10
I
years
don't
old?
remember.
yeah.
I think I was like 4.
I seriously can't remember.
I mean,
I probably was sick at one point.
but, I mean that's a
Okay,
guesstimate. That's a
you answered
guesstimate.
the question though, which is great. Do you sleep with the stuffed animal?
No.
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 Currently?
Oh my
No.
god, we're animal
I know.
shamers.
What is your most embarrassing college moment?
I will tell this.
Okay, okay.
I went on a date with a guy once, and I told him I wasn't ready for anything, but then I was going back to do homework after our date, but I got a little drunk at a party and I started posting stories, and he responded, he was like, hey, I thought you were doing homework. So I got
You
caught in my
lied.
lie.
You got caught in your lie.
It was so bad.
I don't know. I can't think.
Okay, eat.
Oh.
Danny, you are escaping it forever. Salsa and protein
I don't wanna
bar.
do that.
Girl, you got it. Let's dip it in.
No, you just put like a tiny little drop of salsa on there.
Girl, I'll get it ready
I will
for
throw
you.
up. I will throw up.
Come on. It's gonna be really fun, Danny.
Cameron, we're friends, okay? Don't ruin our friendship.
Ooh, yes. Come on, come on. You got to. Ooh, it's dripping. Here.
You want some
I'll make
water?
some water.
Yeah, here you go.
You
Okay. Next one. Oh, no, that one's not scandalous. What is your biggest hot take? I think Joker's a bad movie.
You know what? Okay, wait. I actually told Caleb Peterman this the other day. I have never seen Mean Girls. So,
That's
okay.
formative.
Yeah.
You grew up in the 2000s.
Yeah,
What
I
are you
just
doing?
never saw it. So there you go.
Mine would have to be In-N-Out is gross.
That's tea. Their fries are soggy
I don't
and
like
cardboardy.
it. No. Okay, last question. If you had to choose between saving your best friend and saving yourself, what would you do?
Myself.
Oh,
Bye. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to say the same.
That's
I'm
hard.
selfish.
But I'll have to say my friends as well too.
You're saving your friend?
Oh, not friends, myself.
Okay, yeah.
Every man for himself in this world. I mean,
I know, for real.
Yeah, I guess I know the true sides of both of y'all now.
Girl, you
I
answered
love
the
you.
same. Don't even play with me.
Y'all, by the way. I do.
Well, that was a poor taste, but while our taste buds recover, don't go anywhere. We'll have Good Morning Texas after the break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. Joining us today is UT Junior, Alejandra Zuniga. Good morning, Ale.
Good morning, Cameron.
So, you were actually instrumental in organizing the recent protests against UT's response to sexual misconduct allegations. Can you tell me what setting that up was like for you?
So me and a bunch of other inspirational and brave people also came together to plan all these protests and the logistics behind it and our demands. And it was because it was so sudden. I think we had started planning about a week before. It was a really rough week. We spent several days up until 3 in the morning, in addition to all our other commitments to just flesh out our demands, come up with a strategy, what would happen if the provost came out, or chief of staff, because that's what happened at the first protest, or sit-in. And then we spent a lot of time trying to advertise it to, get people to come out. And then eventually, so after the sit-in, that led to meetings with administration. And then we were able to plan a student forum or town hall that we had President Benavis and Provost McKinnis and Dean Lilly and about 450 plus attendants
That's
and
insane.
in addition to like media coverage, and yeah.
Yeah, it was so big. What really was your inspiration for spearheading this?
I mean, it was just like, I don't know, I just felt a call to action to come, like, you know, together with other people to plan this out and just, you know, figure out like what's wrong with UT and like try to fix this culture that UT has of, you know, perpetuating like sexual assault, like, and, you know, trying to believe survivors and celebrating survivors. Like, it's just trying to fix this culture of dismissal from sexual assault survivors and just trying to change like the way we see UT and its role in sexual assault.
Okay. So like you mentioned with the town hall, like it must have felt so surreal to actually be sitting there and seeing it all happen with it being so successful, you know? So what was that like for you?
For that, it was kind of crazy. Like it just, like that really happened, you know? It was just, we spent so much time trying to just get the attention of the administration and then to come up with planning. And you know, like, it was kind of difficult just because a lot of our members, so we are like the Coalition Against Sexual Misconduct, or CASM, and there's like about maybe 10 to 12 of us, and you know, we switch off very often, and so 2 of our members were on the misconduct working group, and they were the ones in charge of planning the logistics of the town hall. But you know, so it's a lot of student labor, unfortunately, even though the university had committed itself to helping us and providing a space for us and, you know, that sort of thing. But that's not how that happened, you know. But, you know, after seeing, like, that the countless nights of staying up late and, you know, literally, like, stressing ourselves out over just, like, the outcomes of this event, it's really cool. It wasn't much of the fact that it was the president to come out. It was that we had so many attendees and people at UT who actually cared about this issue.
And just a quick final question. Is your fight over?
It is not. We still have several demands that UT has not met. And for example, we want to create a restorative justice program. We want to celebrate survivors. We want to include a policy that terminates professors for sexual misconduct. And we want like yearly reports of professors and faculty that have committed sexual misconduct violations.
Well, thank you so much, Ale, for being here, and thanks for tuning in. For more GMTX throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GoodMorningTX. Thanks for watching us, and from all of us at GMTX, have a wonderful Wednesday.